Hello, my name is Carlis Spivey. I'm an avid birdwatcher and wildlife photographer, and I'm currently enrolled in Unity College's Environmental Studies program with a focus on animal health and behavior. Disclaimer: some of the following content may be considered too graphic for some individuals to watch. Viewer discretion is advised. In the early months of 2021, a mysterious illness began to spread amongst avian species. This caused a mass die-off throughout the eastern United States. The image depicted shows a blue jay suffering from what appears to be a case of finch conjunctivitis. Many affected state governments requested that citizens stop feeding the birds because this illness continued to spread, affecting birds it normally wouldn't affect.
Basically, late May, we had started to hear some chatter online and get some reports in of dying birds. At that point, we tried to make it a priority to collect some species, some carcasses, and get them submitted to a diagnostic lab. So that was, just a couple weeks ago, and we collected some. And following up, it became that it was a bigger issue, that multiple states were involved, as you're aware, DC, Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, Maryland, and West Virginia. And so we had a call last week, kind of with the wildlife health professionals and the diagnostic labs, trying to get everybody on the same page and using consistent messaging, because we're all kind of experiencing the same mortality event, which is impacting blue jays, common grackles, and European starlings seem to be the three species.
After just a few short months, cases started to decrease. Citizens were then advised that they could again feed the birds and put their bird feeders back outside.
Well, Hoosiers in all counties can put their bird feeders back out again. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Rebecca Thiel reports the Indiana Department of Natural Resources made that announcement last week, even though the federal government still hasn't identified the mysterious illness that's killing songbirds in multiple states.
In June, the DNR asked Indiana residents to take down their bird feeders to stop the spread of the disease. Last month, the DNR said residents in all but 16 counties could start feeding birds again because the agency wasn't receiving many reports of the disease outside of those counties. State ornithologist Allison Gillette says of the few reports the DNR has received recently, most of them have been sick adult house finches and goldfinches, which suggests they might have had house finch conjunctivitis, a common illness for finches this time of year.
We felt more confident that it was likely that the cause of those symptoms in those birds were due to house finch eye disease instead of the songbird disease.
Gillette says the number of birds with the mystery illness has decreased enough that the DNR felt it was safe for the public to put out bird feeders again. If you see a sick or dead bird in your yard, the agency still recommends that you don't feed the birds. Birds with the unknown disease have symptoms like crusty eyes, eye discharge, and sometimes neurological issues, resulting in tremors or odd behavior. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Rebecca Thiel.
Now, if you do put your feeders back up, the DNR encourage
All different kinds of native and migratory songbirds are at risk. While some scientists and officials agree that this illness is due to the recent brood X cicadas that emerged this year, no definitive causes have yet been determined. In the meantime, it is imperative that avian enthusiasts take proper measures to prevent the spread of this illness and other illnesses like it in the future. The following video will discuss how to properly clean and maintain your bird feeders.
How many of you feed birds in your backyard like I do? How many of you clean your feeders once a month? Oh, it's my responsibility to keep my feeders clean to protect the birds that I love. So the first thing you gotta do is get a rake and rake away the old seed hulls from the base of your feeder. Move them out of the way, scatter them into the space behind the feeder, and just clean that area up the best you can. Next comes the washing of the actual feeder, and this may require taking the feeder apart like I've done with this one here. So when you start to wash your feeder, we recommend you wear gloves. Now, rubber gloves, dish gloves are still available in the stores, or you can use a pair of washable work gloves. And you're going to want to put your feeder, after you've taken the different parts apart, and shook out all the old seed and as much residue as you can. You're going to want to put that feeder in a bucket or a solution of antibacterial soap and water. Hot water works good. Get it in there, let it soak for about 10 minutes. Once the feeder is soaked, you can take a variety of different types of brushes. Bottle brushes work good, and try to scrub and get those tight places in there. Another tool that works really well is an old toothbrush. It's always great to have a few of these around. Take your old toothbrush and then you can get in those really tight corners to clean that up. Now, be sure you throw away that old toothbrush when you're done, because nobody wants to use that again. Okay, so once your feeder is gotten scrubbed, then you're going to put it into a solution of bleach. Now, you're going to want to use hot water for your bleach solution, and you're going to want to be careful with the bleach because it can stain your clothes. But if you use a ratio of 1 part bleach to 9 parts water, that will disinfect your bird feeder, getting rid of all the bacteria and viruses can build up from multiple birds visiting the feeder. So you're going to soak it for 10 minutes in that bleach solution. Now the 1 part bleach to 9 parts water, often people ask me, well, what does that mean? Well, what it means is, for instance, 1 cup measurement of bleach, and the 9 parts would be 9 cups of water. Now you can use a variety of other measuring tools, but that gives you an idea of what that means. So once your feeder has soaked in the bleach solution for 10 minutes, then you're going to want to rinse it thoroughly. We're going to go over here to the hose, and we are going to rinse it. Now, a good rule is to rinse it for 10 minutes. You're just going to want to thoroughly get in there, all the places, and get that bleach rinsed out. Now, once that feeder has been thoroughly rinsed, you can set it in a sunny place and let the sun dry it. Okay, let that feeder dry in the sun thoroughly, and then once it is thoroughly dry, you can refill it with seed and put it in your bird feeding area. Okay, everyone, we recommend you clean those feeders once a month, and while you're home, practicing social distancing is a great time to get your feeders clean. So let's all get a little spring cleaning done, everyone.
By each and every birdwatcher doing their part to take care of their feeders, we can help stop the spread of future illnesses, ultimately saving the future of our birds. Do your part, clean your feeder. It's that simple. You can follow me on Instagram at _avian_conservationist for updates and posts surrounding wildlife photography and avian conservation.